Danke para quedar conosco, televidente. Maneira nos indicar para mim que o nosso espaço comercial, nós estamos conversando com o Minister Otley, com o Minister de Salubridade e Labor aqui na St. Martin. Sim, me vista aqui na St. Martin, passamos diretamente fora de St. Martin. Então, danke imenso também na nossa gerência de TV Caribe também, que está permitindo assim uso de no estúdio para nos conduzir a entrevista aqui. I know you got that whole gist. You got all of it, yeah. Now let's get back to where we left off. You mentioned, okay, we're taking care of our COVID numbers, and people are really understanding why certain decisions were made and the retrospect, you know, and it's paying off because the numbers don't lie. And but we're going to go back to that in maybe one of our other sections, because that you did some really great things, you know, with technology and stuff like that, and we need to get on that train also. Labor.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned when we started, you know, the balance, if you don't have health, you don't have wealth. And, you know, sometimes wealth, you can't get health.
Yeah.
To get the wealth, you need to work, and it's one of the fundamental rights of the human being to be able to work and contribute to their communities and to their societies. What are the plans for labor? Because you mentioned, you know, another lockdown, another shutdown, that was sort of out of the question. And moving forward, seeing that we got the numbers under control, and I say we, you know, we in this together, no matter, you know, we in this together. What are the next steps for the part of labor?
Perfect. I'm glad you asked. Well, look, first off, we just passed the Civil Code, the Book 7. That was done by a previous minister, but my philosophy is that if it's beneficial to St. Martin or the country, yes, I will not hold it back.
Yes, so government is continuation.
But in the Civil Code, I realized that it does not address really the issue of the short-term contract, the abuse of the short-term contract. We realized that Aruba has an Article 614A, so we are studying that article to try to see how we can possibly use within our spectrum to see how we can curb the abuse. What we have done, we created an online portal where employers, employees, and anyone can answer the questions based on 6 months contract, and releasing some of the pressure from the dismissal laws. So with that information, we have it up. We're going to take it down on December 19th. And we're going to use that information to formulate the law moving forward. That way, we made a decision based on the feedback of the people, your feedback, not mine, but the feedback of the people. So then once we have that, we'll make that adjustment to the 6 months contract. Why is it important? There are many locals on St. Martin that have been working on a short-term contract
for years. Yeah.
But with that, yes, you are employed, but you can't get a mortgage.
Yeah, you can't go to the bank, you know. Yeah.
So we want to stop that. We want to see how people start to excel, to grow. Like we say, we have car shows, but we never have a house show, you know, mortgage and those things. On a labor aspect, I also did my SOS, my incidental work policy, which I'm very proud of. This now makes investors and contractors, it strengthens the relationship with the labor department to ensure that you use the local resources, and if we don't have it, you can bring, but you have to train. So we just had the job fair for the General Hospital.
Yes.
That was amazing. We had over 150 participants, local participants, subcontractor companies. And on December 18th, we're doing another job fair for the reconstruction of the airport. So we're definitely creating labor. We have been in talks with other major investors who now will sign on to this SOS. And it's not only job fairs, they are also investing in our school system and in NEPA. So this is this is something that I'm very proud of. Very.
Now, one begs to ask the question, and I don't know if you're going to tell me if you're glad I asked this question. I think this was like since St. Martin became a country, like 2010, there were attempts to adjust our labor laws, and now it's like 2021, and that's they say, zijn we een paar jaar verderop, as they would say, and most people would tend to not believe that now something is going to be done. And not only those that are under, the constraints of these short-term contracts, but even the ones that are actually giving out these, labor contracts, businesses and stuff like that, like, yeah, they've been saying that for years. This is not going to happen. What's different now that is really, really going to happen now from 2010 to 2021?
Difference is me.
Good answer.
Difference is me. I think my record speaks for itself in the 7 months. We have done a lot. We have managed to complete a lot because of the fact that government changed so much. So I'm not going to blame a lot of the other ministers. Sometimes they are working on something and then boom, you're out of government. So stability is the key to move forward. But with me understanding that this position is not guaranteed, you're basically in it day to day. I work like there's no tomorrow. That is the difference. I don't get comfortable in the seat. Every day I wake up and it's bad, but you wake up with the mentality that tomorrow you can be gone. Not by death, that too, but by
the change, you never know.
Government. So I work religiously, and I don't leave no stone unturned or leave it up to chance. So once I keep that mentality, I'm gonna be good. A lot of things too. It's the legal advice. We have the Yazetin way where we, render legal, where we need legal advice to be rendered to us based on the decisions we want to make, and then it goes to the SER and then the Council of Advice, and that is the lengthy process at times. But as far as when it comes to me, I don't leave no stone unturned. I also did the indexation request so that we can raise the minimum wage.
Right. January next month.
I'm praying. We're waiting on the advice again from SED. They're doing their best. I know that there was issues within the SED, but they're doing their best. But I can't wait on you. So I'm going to pile them up, and when they get to it, they get to it. There's also some SZV reforms that we have finished. Now we're sending it to them. So I'm going to do my part as much as I can do.
And how was let me call it like this, how was the pot, most people say the bag of money in the SZV? Because we know, like, for example, Aruba, they're really, they're feeling the crunch with their social health, Curacao with the SVB. The other islands, they're under something else, they're Umbarleham. But how is our little pot with regards to SVB? Because we say he want to raise it, but where he going to get the money from? And things so tough, and if you pull from here and you can't touch there because this ministry really needs the money, or this post really needs the money. So let's talk about the finances. Yes.
Well, government in itself, if we're speaking on government in itself has financial constraints. We were just starting to catch ourselves from Hurricane Irma, and then here comes the COVID-19, hence the reason, there's a lot of cuts being made and conditions being placed on us by the Netherlands. Some of the requests from the Netherlands, I must say, are things that we should have been working on. Some, I can speak for my ministry, are things that I can say, okay, this definitely needs to be worked on. Fair is fair, but a lot of the other things, some of the things I may not agree with, but as far as SZV, of course, is survivable right now, but we have to look for the future. And if we continue the trend that we are continuing at, eventually we will feel the topple over of SZV. And I want to remind people that SZV is not a private business. SZV is our money, the money of the pensioners. That is what it is. So when decisions are made, some people can play politics, but at the end of the day, it's your money. So by raising up the wage limit, the ZVOV, we're going to Parliament for that with hopes that we can raise it so now more persons can be insured under SZV. So we went to Parliament, we gave them a
that's a little taste.
before the meeting. I'm scheduled to be in Parliament December 15th, and hopefully it will be passed on December 20th.
Let's say today is December 16th. You just came out of that meeting from Parliament. and it's a positive. Let's do the positive and negative. You guys went to Parliament, and it's the next day, and maybe today's they gave you an answer the 20th. Let's say today's the 21st of December. You got a positive result. What would be the next step for that?
The next step is to consult with all the stakeholders, the businesses. We have already started it, the preparation aspect of it. But even though it's passed, you want to sit with all the stakeholders. You need to know the tax and filing persons that maybe have paid their insurance for private insurance, paid their insurance in November or December. There will be a reimbursement. All of those things we need to take into consideration. And then there will be an implementation date, which we look forward to the first quarter of 2022. And then, yeah, we're down the road. And then, to me, I'm done with this and I'm on to the next one.
Now you come out of the meeting the 21st and it's a negative response from Parliament. You go back to the drawing board. What do you do then?
Yeah. Well, first of all, you have to respect it. Parliament is the the representative of the people if they choose to vote against it. But definitely, when we present a law to Parliament, we bring pros, cons, but definitely for me to present it, it has to be beneficial. So for you to go against it, at the end of the day, as a representative of Parliament, which you have your right, it is your responsibility to tell the people, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's 5 years from now, why our funds are depleted. And I should hope that if they don't agree with it, then they can point me in another direction to generate more funds from SZV. Because we all work together. That's what it needs to be.
Okay, fantastic. Televidente, conversando con Minister Otley direttamente fuori St. Martin aqui nang outro espaço comercial onde ora nós bem back nós vai papel de tecnologia com ele usa tecnologia também para poder manejar inter pandemia aqui então com tecnologia pero também importante data importante hoje em dia para diferentes pessoas riba em nível de Minister Otley tá tomando decisão espaço comercial ora nós back nós continuar com nosso programa especial direto for de St. Martin danke na TV Caribe também para permitir nos usar espaço para entrevista aqui. Queda conosco, essa aqui da Dutch Caribbean Television.